or you turn on. Shalom, Israel. First off, we want to say double honors to the apostles and the hopeful elect out of the nation of Israel that's preaching this truth on the highways and byways and preaching the right doctrine. We want to shout out to sisters that's watching as well. We want to shout out the sky hopeful elect and the awful call of the earth. And before we do that, we give all praise to So yeah, this lesson is basically going to be going into Old Testament verses which speak on Yahawashi, because this is very important, because you have a lot of Old Testament only Israelites that don't believe in Yahawashi and that damn near blaspheme the name of Yahawashi. So yeah, bring out first we just go to Isaiah chapter 53, because that's a payment right.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, starting at verse 1, and it reads, "Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord Yahweh revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness. When we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He's despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not."
So that precept links up with 1 Peter chapter 21. Well, yeah, it's clear that's talking about Yahawashi. He was despised among men. And when you go to the book of Matthew, he said, "You shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." And we all know that Yahawashi was hated.
The precept is the book of Isaiah chapter 11, starting at verse 1, and it reads, "And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord Yahweh." Verse 3, "And shall make of him a quick understanding in the fear of the Lord Yahweh. He shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove the equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins." I'm going to jump down to verse 10. "And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and its rest shall be glorious. But it shall come to pass," verse 11, "and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of the people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Paphros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea." So that right there, in Isaiah chapter 11, the verses that the scripture I just perpetuated was that was an Old Testament prophecy on Yahawashi, saying that he was prophesied to save the remnant of Israel, which is essentially the 1/3. And obviously it's spoke about how he stemmed from the root of Jesse. So obviously this is from the Old Testament, and that's obviously again the Most High saying that Yahweh Hashem, that's the Most High saying that Yahawashi HaMashiach was going to be a prophecy to obviously save Israel, and obviously come back for the people that are going to be the meek of the earth. So that's obviously a proof right there that Yahawashi didn't just come out of nowhere in the book of Matthew, which is the start of the New Testament. There was numerous Old Testament prophecies, and that's an example of a few, to be honest with you. So that's one right there.
And yeah, also the stem of Jesse, that's David's father. that line is from the line of Judah. When you go to Hebrews chapter 7 verse 14, it will tell you that Yahawashi is from the tribe of Judah. Bring out Proverbs chapter 30 starting at verse 4.
Oh, that's a good one actually. It's the book of Proverbs chapter 30 verse 4. Who have ascended up into heaven and descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fists? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name? If thou canst tell, every word of Yahweh is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
It said, yeah, so in verse 4 it says, what is his name and what is his son's name if thou canst tell? So when it's saying what is his name, that's talking about Yahweh. And when they're saying what is his son's name, that's talking about Yahawashi. Because how you know that as well, when you go to the book of 1 John, actually no, the book of John chapter 1 starting at verse 1, going down to verse 4, it tells you that Yahawashi was there during the foundations of Yahawashi was there during the foundations of the earth. You can even link that up with the book of Hebrews chapter 1 starting at verse 1 going on to verse 2. You've got to bring out the precept.
Hebrews chapter 1, starting at verse 1. God Yahweh, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, verse 2, have in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir all things, appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
So Yahawashi, so the Most High used Yahawashi as a vessel along with the angels to establish the foundations of the earth, because the Most High Yahweh, he was the great architect, and he gave the orders to Yahawashi and the angels to build all this that you see right now. That's what Yahawashi and the angels built. Because when it's talking about God, that's talking about that's the Hebrew word for Elohim, and that goes into rulers, angels, and gods.
Yep.
So that wasn't talking about, yeah, exactly, plural. It wasn't talking about Yahweh. Matter of fact, the first time Yahweh is even mentioned in the Bible, I believe is in Genesis chapter 2. I believe it might be verse 5. It's not even mentioned in Genesis 1.
Go on, precept. Yeah. So to prove your point, yeah, I'm gonna get Judges 13 and verses Judges 13 and verse 21. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die because we have seen God. Now, if no one knew that it was the angel of the Lord, we know God in this context just means Elohim. Right. You know, because if you know about something, obviously, you know, you know what it is. So, you know, just justifying what you see in Genesis.
Absolutely, absolutely. For precepts, it's the book of Psalms 16, verse 10. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither will thou suffer thine holy one to see corruption. Obviously, that's King David right there speaking on the prophecy of Yahawashi. And as the brother just said, that Yahawashi stemmed from the land of Judah, because Jesse was the father of King David. Also, King David, the generation between King David and Yahawashi was 14 generations. If you go to Matthew chapter 1, it lays out Yahawashi's seed line, you know, and again, it was 14 generations. So obviously that's, again, King David stating the prophecy in Yahawashi. The key thing is, it states that he will not let thine holy ones to see corruption. As we know, Yahawashi was sinless. He was not corrupt in any way, type, shape, or form. And again, this is Old Testament. So any Israelites that turn around and say, oh, they don't believe in Yahawashi, they're strictly Old Testament Hebrew Israelites, then this is your proof right there. So like I said earlier, Yahawashi didn't just come out of Matthew, didn't just, you know, start in Matthew and all the way down to Revelation.
And yeah, if there was one person to know about Yahawashi, it was King David. King David, he knew about Yahawashi, you know, and
You have Psalm 130. Did you read about Psalm 132, 10 and 11? If you can read it. Because it goes right into what you're saying. And then also you go Psalm 110, 1.
Lord has sworn.
He has sworn. Yeah, he has sworn, man.
For you to not only Israelites, they're all going to get destroyed. You know, unless you repent.
Is it 132 verse 10?
Yeah, and 11. Talking about the Old Testament. Is that what we're talking about?
What's that?
Are you talking about the Old Testament only Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah, there's basically going into them as well.
There's a guy called Rob the News.
Oh yeah, I heard about it, yeah.
He died.
Yeah.
Even that guy called the Comforter.
Yeah. They were all trying. Rob the News was saying that Yahawashi that don't exist. He got killed, man. The Most High is not playing these days, man. 2022 is going to be serious, Tyler.
Yeah, because a lot of these Old Testament Hebrew Israelites, they don't have the spirit. They don't have the spirit, and it manifests outward. Just by the way they convey their words, you can tell that they don't have the spirit because what do you call it? They blaspheme the name of Yahawashi for one, and for two, even when it's as if they always want to go back and forth. They want to have a debate every time they want to have a debate. Because I spoke to a few of them, and they always want to have a debate, go back and forth about this and that and that. They don't have the spirit.
The book of Psalms, chapter 1:3, is the book of Psalms, chapter 132, starting at verse 10. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away the face of thine anointed. The Lord Yahweh said, the Lord Yahweh sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it, from the fruit of thy body. Will I sit upon thy throne?
Right. The fruit of your body is what? Seed. Alright? So who's that?
Yahawashi.
You telling me that, Yahawashi, there's no Yahawashi. So who is that guy? Define to us, who's that guy? Come on, man.
The proof is the pudding, man.
Right, man. I mean, that's how you know everything's spiritual, because these are played upon tables, right? But the Most High made it to where the spirit of the Pharisees would be prevalent today, and the Old Testament, to not only Israelites, they have the same spirit as these Pharisees.
What it is that the Most High put a stumbling block, because this truth is not for everyone. So those of our people that the Old Testament only believers, that's because it's not a portion. It's not a portion. Well, Abba Bevan, he was an Old Testament guy. But look what the Most High did. His crew that he came up with were Old Testament only. But the Most High was able to bless him, and also.
That was Elijah.
Is he Psalm 44 or 40? I came in the volume of the book.
Yeah.
Who came in the volume of the book, man? Let me find out.
Exactly. And it also
you have a precept?
Hebrews 10 and 7. It tells you that in Hebrews 10 and 7.
So after that, I read Hebrews 10 and 7, and then I'm going to find the Old Testament that's confirmed the New Testament.
Even when it says they pierced my hand and my feet, who is that?
Psalm 22 and 16, who was that?
Man of sorrows, as I speak free.
Come on, man.
He will invade with his troops, Habakkuk 3:16. There's so many precepts, man. Come on, man.
What are you looking for, Malak?
Because again, a lot of these Old Testament Israelites too, they were trying to associate. They tried to associate Yahawashi with these pagan gods such as Osiris, Heru, Nimrod, so on and so forth. They tried to make the conjunction between them two, but they're really making a conjunction between the white Jesus and Osiris and Heru and all these other gods. Yahawashi is a completely different ballgame. You can't make the conjunction, because what the society has done, they've tried to, they purposely tried to link up the story of Yahawashi with the story of all these pagans, because certain aspects do sound similar, but it was made that way to deceive them. That, as the brother said, is made to be a stumbling block.
Yep.
Psalm 110.
Like, you also got Israelites that are Trinitarians, you know.
Right.
That goes back to Egyptology.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Book of Psalm 110, starting at verse 1. The Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord, sit thou at my
So it
right hand.
says the Lord said unto my Lord. So who's the Lord talking
Who's the
about?
Lord talking about?
Exactly. He can't be talking about King David. It's King David talking about
Is
himself.
King David talking about himself?
Right. Because a lot of these people, a lot of these Israelites worship King David.
Yeah, they do. They do. A lot of these Israelites say that, the whole thing about King David shall rule, shall be king. When you read Ezekiel 37, I believe 24 tells you that King David shall rule, right? But they have a way to break it down to say that King David is talking about the seed of King David. But that cannot be. Now, if it's the case, can someone tell me why when the disciples were asking Yahawashi, we went through all of that. So what is the promise for us? And he said, those who will follow me in the regeneration, in the kingdom, will be sitting on 12 thrones.
Regeneration.
Right. That we sitting on 12 thrones, right? Now, who is the head? Who is the head of the church? Peter is the head of the church. All right. Now, what are we building right now? The house of David. Right? So if he say in Ezekiel 37 that David will be sitting, as the king, right? As the king of kings, right? So you go now, Peter being the head of the church. That's if you get back. So now, will you have Peter sitting at the head of the church, and then David sitting at the head of the church? No, that's because Peter is David.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peter is King David, so David will sit as the natural king, but nevertheless, Yahawashi will be ruling over Israel. Just like in Iran, you've got a president, you've got a normal president, and you've got a spiritual. I forgot the name they give him. You got the spiritual head, all right, and then you got a normal president. It's going to be the same. It's going to be Yahawashi and the spiritual head. And you're going to have now the normal, president, the physical king, which is David. But like you said, they don't understand. They don't have the spirit, to go deep into. Because this word is deep water.
We got the Most High, Yahawashi.
Yep.
King David, the 12 apostles.
No, but the thing about it, like, that's what I was saying. King David represents the top of the apostle that will be ruling sitting on throne. So when you see Peter, you see King David. Because in reincarnation, think about it. David built. Talking about the house of David, right? Tabernacle of David, right? And then when Yahawashi come, he gave it to Peter and say, "You're the head. You're the head.
I build my church.
I build my church. On this stone, I build my church." All right. So that's David right there. So in the kingdom now, it's going to be King David, and then but carry on, man, carry on. I just wanted to make that because people that will listen, because a lot of brothers are struggling with us. That's a very beautiful point, very beautiful lesson. So when they listen to that, they will understand what it is, man.
The Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Sit thou at my right hand. So that's going to be Yahawashi. Yahawashi is going to be sitting at the right hand of the Most High, because if it's not Yahawashi, then who is it?
And then Psalm 110 goes into Psalm 132. That's what he's saying to you, because that was that's the accomplishment of the promise that is. Because he swore. He swore. Is that how you say he swore? How you say swear? To swear. Swore. He swore. Yeah. To King David, he say, from your seed will be.
Yeah. The most.
That's what he was saying. Yeah. But
that's it. But
that's it.
read Read where it says Melchizedek.
Verse 4. The Lord Yahweh have sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Come on, man, who is this talking about? That's talking about Yahawashi. You can link that up in the book of Hebrews. I believe. What is it
Read that part again.
The Lord Yahweh have sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Is that Psalm 110?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Lord
Hey,
has sworn.
that's
Lord has
powerful.
sworn, you know.
Actually, in the New Testament, there's something like that about where Yahawashi asked this guy about him saying that he's Melchizedek, and they run after, they wanted to kill him, man. They're like, you're not even 40, and you say that you were there, you know. Let me find it, and then you can read that, because that's a very, very beautiful point. You know. Yeah, you can carry on now.
Look in Hebrews where it says. Yeah, because when it says after the order of Melchizedek, that's the everlasting priesthood.
Yeah.
That's no longer that carnal priesthood that was set up with the Levites.
Yeah.
Yahawashi has going to be that everlasting priest, the ultimate priest, because essentially in Revelation it says we're all going to be a nation of kings of priests, but Yahawashi has going to be that ultimate priest.
That's right.
So that's that spiritual priesthood.
Yeah. That's the cup to the Old Testament Israelites. They only believe Levi is the priest.
Right.
We're all going to be priests.
I mean, so why are we doing the service?
Exactly, I always say that, yeah. So where is the temple? Where's the temple, and then where's the sheep and the goats to do the sacrifice? You can't do that. You're in captivity, man. Just sit just be humble, man.
And even that lamb that they're gonna have, yeah. Like the lamb is. How do you know that it's not
It's a male. How do you know it's not blemish? Because where you going? You're going to East.
Yeah.
You're going to East London.
Yeah.
There's a place where they go and they sell these sheep and that.
Yeah.
That's where you go, man. You don't even know what's going on before you go. The head is already cut off.
It's like we eat the foul food among the Gentiles.
Exactly, man.
So
Just
the lamb is gonna
you know what I'm
definitely
saying?
be the
Just
foul.
like, bro, I don't understand these brothers, man. I really don't understand.
Precepts. Book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 6. His body also was at the burial, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So that's also Daniel seen a vision of Yahawashi. Mostly, you can actually link this verse to Revelation chapter 1, verse 14 to 15, where it talks about the appearance and also the appearance and also the incarnation of Yahawashi. Also, he said that his voice like a multitude, where Revelation says that his voice was like the sound of many waters, saying, insinuating the fact he had a deep voice. He wasn't docile to them. So obviously again, and the book of Daniel, this is in the Old Testament, of course, also further proof that there were multiple prophecies pertaining to the Yahawashi.
I've got Micah 5 and 2. You can break that down.
Bring it up.
Say, but thou Bethlehem, Ephratah, or Ephratah, or whatever, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose going forth have been from old, from everlasting. Can I read that again? Who's that talking about? Let me read that again. Ask your Old Testament to give him Micah 5 and 2, and they're going to tell you what that was. They need to tell you who's that talking about. I'll read that again. Say, Micah 5 and 2. But thou, Bethlehem, Ephratah, though thou be little among thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose going forth have been from old, from everlasting. Wasn't Yahawashi born in Bethlehem? It was prophesying Micah, man. So these brothers, man, they need to, I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, all the prophets of old knew about Yahawashi.
You know what I mean? That's what it means. That's what it means.
Right. So I mean, there's a thing where unless you're gonna say the New Testament's fake, it's undeniable.
But how can the New Testament be fake when Matthew, Luke, John, Mark, and James, Paul all quoting from the Old Testament? Check even Yahawashi. Most of them preaching. So now his brothers going out and preach. It's like us going out preaching about the word, right? And then make a record about us, and they call it the Third Testament. The Third Testament in Babylon. But we didn't create our own thing. We read from the scriptures. So the apostle and the disciple read from the Torah. You just have to go and read it and then see it.
Because a lot of them like to come up with the doctrine that the Torah means that written New Testament and all that bullshit. They like to come with that sort of doctrine.
No, yes, the Bible destruction crew and the Jesuit and all of that. Yes, they did a lot of mistranslation and everything. I'll give you an example. For example, when you read Matthew 1 and 18, it talks about, you know, in French you say fiancé, which is like fiancé, right? But then in the next verse talk about, you know, Joseph, the husband of Mary. So it means that they put that thing there. The French Jesuit put that thing there to say fiancé. So now in the modern context it will be like, okay, oh, that was the fiancé, so they didn't have sex yet. You know what I'm saying? But then in the English version you say espouse. Espouse means wife. That means she was already Joseph's wife. So yes, there's been some mistranslation in this. Yes, I agree with that. But the New Testament is nothing but a recollection, you know, of the writing of the apostle and the disciple. Okay? The Bible says, great were the company of those who publish it. So the Most High put a spirit, you know, on all of those guys, you know, to gather the book. It's the Most High who did that. But like you say, you have to be in the spirit to understand these things. And the Old Testament guy, they're not in the spirit.
Not in the spirit, not at all. Not at all. Bring out this last verse in the book of Psalm chapter 2, start at verse 6.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 2 starting at verse 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. Verse 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord Yahweh said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. And the uttermost parts of the earth for that possession.
That's right.
That links up with the book of Revelation.
Exactly.
Or the most, I mean, Yahawashi is going to come back and destroy the heathen, and the elect has joined Ezra. Yahawashi is going to have the heathen for their inheritance. So I mean, for all you Old Testament, Old Testament, Holy Israelites, I mean, if you don't believe in Yahawashi, you're not going to be a part of it.
Last verse, go to Genesis 49 and 10.
Oh yeah.
Genesis 49, Shiloh, man. Read that. Let's read that, man.
Right. You can
Come
pretty
on,
much,
from Genesis.
You can pretty much find Yahawashi in every single book.
Come on, man.
Every single Numbers as well.
You find him in Numbers. Yeah, you find him in Exodus.
Deuteronomy 18, chapter 18, verse 18.
No,
I was gonna say, who was that angel that Joshua bowed down to?
exactly.
That
Who
was
that?
Yahawashi.
That was Yahawashi.
The angel that took us out from Egypt.
Yahawashi.
There you go.
Right.
But it's like you say, man, it's depth. Yeah, go on.
The book of Genesis chapter 49 verse 10. The scepter.
It's a mystery anyway.
Man, it's a mystery, man. So we're supposed to be glad that we have this truth, man.
Book of Genesis 49 verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come.
Shiloh.
Come.
Now, who is Shiloh? Read that part slowly. Read that thing. Who is Shiloh, man?
Not a lawgiver from between his feet. Until Shiloh come. Unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
Unto him shall the gathering. So the work that we're doing, who is he for? It's Yahawashi. Yeah. Who is coming to get us from here? Yahawashi. So from Genesis, it was already spoken about in Genesis.
And you can link up that precept in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. I believe it's in verse 3.
Read it.
Yeah, because in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 3, it says that they're gonna gather the elect of all four corners.
Yeah, 24 and 31. 24 and 31.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Yeah, that's it, man.
That's simple. It's very plain and simple. So I mean, there's no precepts that we can bring out, but I mean the precepts we brought out there. That's very plain.
The last precept, Psalm 40 and 7.
The proof is in the pudding.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, let's give them so people that can, because it's about edifying people. Let's read that one. Psalm 40 and 7. That's the last precept. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You can't go against Yahawashi, man. But the Most High gonna start killing people from going. There's one that already paid the price. He's already killed him. He's already killing. He's already started. You know what I'm saying? It's already started, man. The Most High is putting people to death. Yahawashi is putting because they're gonna put respect on his name. Do you know how it is to sit in a Shemayan and hear some foolishness like that? You know what I mean? The man is putting work for Israel, but you got Israel going against him. So he has to, at some point, but he has to do something.
Now Shai been working since he was 12, trying to fix up his ministry. Trying to destroy something.
You got niggas coming and telling about, oh, he doesn't exist. So you want to make void the whole thing that he did from when he was not even before that. He built this thing. He's the one with the Alahayim. Put respect on his name, man. Put some respect on his name, man.
Book of Psalms, chapter 14, verse 7. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion.
No, 40.
Oh, 40.
Yeah. Bring that out. 40 and 7, man.
Book of Psalms 40, verse 7.
That's right.
Then said I, lo, I come, in the volume of the book it is written of me.
I come in the volume of the book who is written of me, man. This whole book is about who? Yahawashi. From Genesis to Revelation, it's about Yahawashi, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He even mentions Yahawashi in second Ezra. I think the second Ezra was in chapter
2.
Yeah.
2:43 to 47.
Yeah.
Let's read that again. Bring it. Bring it. You have to edify the people.
That man waxed strong with the dogs.
Yes.
That's Yahawashi, man.
But let's bring the two and bring let me verify it. Because these are important things, man.
As well.
Huh?
Habakkuk mentioned Yahawashi.
Exactly.
A lot of prophets, even what's Isaiah?
Yeah. Mentioned him several times.
There you go.
Did Jeremiah mention him?
Yeah, 43. Second Ezra 2 and 43. You reading that?
Yeah.
You don't have it. Second Ezra 2 and 43, man.
I believe Job even spoke to Yahawashi.
Job,
He came out of the chariot, remember? And then he basically said like he was telling him like about who feeds the birds, like can you put a hook in the python? I think it was Yahawashi because the Most High spokesman is Yahawashi.
Yeah. At that time, man, that was that angel, man.
Yeah, even Moses saw Yahawashi.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, read it out.
And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest. Upon every one of their heads set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
Right, so who was that? And it says,
Yahawashi.
Can you read 47 now? No, read 46. No, read 47, it's like a 47.
So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God, Yahweh.
There you go.
whom they have confessed in the world.
Yep.
Then began I greatly to command them that stood. Sorry, thank you. So then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
That's it, man. That's it, man. Who's that guy, man? Yahawashi, man. You know? Yeah, with that, man.
Yeah, man. So I hope that brothers and sisters have been edified. You know, I hope brothers and sisters have got something out of this lesson, and I hope that this also gives you ammunition to try and edify these Old Testament only Israelites, because I mean, if they don't get it, they're going to be destroyed. You know, the Lord, Yahawashi is going to come back and say, I never knew. You know, so yeah, so we're going to turn to the news.
Hallelujah, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Waha, Rakah, Kodash. War on Israel. Shalom Israel. Shalom Israel.